What is up, guys, and welcome to a new video. And today, I will be reacting to the Premier League matches from Matchweek 3. What we just had, and then of course we had the international break this weekend just gone, and we returned this weekend with the Premier League for round 4. And yeah, in today's video, I'm going to look at that, but also I'm going to predict what I think is going to happen in round 4 as well for well, yeah, for what the scorelines and all are going to be. And obviously I need to see how well I've done from match week 3. I know one of the scorelines I got correct, but yeah, we'll get onto that in a minute. Before I kick off this video, first of all, I was going to say that I was meant to do this the other day, on Saturday and Sunday, or Sunday, I mean, sorry. But my Mac has been really buggering up recently. No, my keyboard has been basically very bad. It's been playing up a lot, as has my mouse, and I just felt my laptop. No, it's not my laptop. Sorry, my computer was completely unusable for the video. So I thought I'd give it a few days, and plus also I've been very distracted, but also importantly distracted by university accommodation related stuff, because I'm trying to secure a place for so I've got the place at Southampton Solent, but I have been trying to secure an accommodation place at Southampton, at Southampton Solent, pretty much, with the uni. It's been very hard recently, and I've had to look at private sectors as well. But I've got the place, so it's all guaranteed, all sorted. So I should be moving to Southampton some point at the end of next week, in the second half of next week. So yeah. Also, before I start this video and I look at the 10 games, this tribute, this video is a special tribute to a good friend of mine and the family. This video is dedicated to a friend of mine from St Ives in the far west of Cornwall. A friend of mine called Antony, who passed away in a motorbike crash. And he was a big Arsenal fan, a massive Arsenal fan. He was such a laugh, such a joy. I really enjoyed having a laugh with him. He was very good friends with the rest of my family as well. And yeah, I'd like to pay a massive tribute for this video to Antony, and all my condolences go with his friends and family. So I'm going to take about 35 seconds to do a silence, and then we'll continue with the video. So yeah, rest in peace, my friend. Such a great guy. Such a great guy indeed. So we begin my reactions with Manchester City against Arsenal at the Etihad, where Man City hits Arsenal for 5 as Xhaka sees red. So let's see what happened here. Oh, I've got an advert, so hopefully this will skip. Right, and let's get this underway. Yeah, brightness is up. It's Bernardo Silva. Jesus. Crossing it in, and it's already a goal. Nothing Bernd Leno can do about that, and it's already a goal to Manchester City. Headed in by Ilkay Gundogan, and Arsenal were the brighter side in the first 7 minutes, but once again, it's clinical Manchester City. Start off slowly, and then they get underway. Here's Bernardo Silva. And it's gone into 2. Ferran Torres has just scored to make it 2-0. And Arsenal's defence were in all sorts of shape there. I mean, like, Cedric couldn't quite get to it, but it went straight to Ferran Torres. And it is 2-0 to the reigning Premier League champions. Oh, Xhaka's gone in late there. I think that's a red card, you know. Ferran Torres, Grealish and Gundogan go up to the referee about the situation. It is red. It is a red for Granit Xhaka. Another red card for Granit. Oh, and he's gone in so late there. That is dangerous. Yeah, I'm not surprised that's a red card. He's trying to play the ball. That's another red card for Granit Xhaka. And, well, that doesn't look good for the Gunners. Clear red card. And it's another goal for City. Gabriel Jesus puts it in, makes it 3, goes to hug Jack Grealish. Grealish sets him up here with his dribble into the box. And Jesus puts it in, and Leno once again couldn't get there. Callum Chambers once again. Calamitous defending from him and the Arsenal team. And Rodri has a shot, and it's 4. A goal for the defensive midfielder, the Spanish international. A wonderful Manchester City afternoon. A humiliating afternoon for the Gunners. Rodri puts it in and places it in bottom right. And I think Leno should have done better than that because he dived the right way as well. Mahrez into Ferran Torres. Post for number 5. His second goal. No Kane, no Ronaldo. But still, same old comfortable Manchester City. They absolutely trounced, hammered, outclassed, pelted. There's no more words to it. They just owned Arsenal that whole game. And that has put the Gunners bottom of the table. And they look, despite only 3 games into the season, the Gunners look absolutely awful at the moment. That was a clear red card for Granit Xhaka. No surprise there. Another red card for him. Xhaka's starting to remind me of Sergio Ramos and Pepe now, with the amount of red cards he's been getting in his career recently. Bloody hell. But 5-0 Manchester City. They look unstoppable. Second win of the season. They are 7th in the table, but they've already got 10 goals into their season. And already, well, actually, no. They're joint top with West Ham on the amount of goals scored. But they are already top on goal difference with 9 goals already. 9 goal difference already. And Tottenham, who's top of the table, are only on a goal difference of 3. Once again, City looks strong, and yeah, they don't need Ronaldo, and they don't need Harry Kane. But they're going to be there 100%. No, it was a clear, fantastic win for City. And I think Mikel Arteta is going to be in gonna have all sorts of problems under his shoulders now. He's really under pressure. I spoke to an Arsenal fan the other day, actually, and well, I said to him, I think if Arsenal's next game is against Norwich, and I think their next 2 is against Norwich and Burnley. If they don't beat Norwich or Burnley before they face Tottenham in the North London derby on the 26th of September, then I think they really could be in trouble with the manager. And yeah, that doesn't look good for them. a lot of pressure on Arsenal's shoulders at the moment on what they're going to do. So yeah, it's not looking good for the Gunners. Ferran Torres was magnificent, I thought. And yeah, City looks strong. As we all know, I know they comfortably beat Norwich 5-0 the previous round, but maybe Arsenal might have been a bit tougher for City. But Arsenal got outclassed by Chelsea in round 2. They're getting outclassed. They got outclassed again, this time by City. And yeah, they're bottom of the league. They look in trouble. They really look in trouble, and they've got to pick up the pace here, the Gunners. I think their missed opportunity was when they lost 2-0 to Brentford in the first round of the season. They should have had at least a point there or something, but it's not to be. And yeah, they're bottom of the league. Let's look at actually how I did in this game. But yeah, I thought it was just a fantastic Manchester City performance, a typical Manchester City performance. They usually like beating teams 5-0 just to be comfortable, and it was just another shocking Arsenal performance. Let's see how many. We'll obviously see how many points I get from this round as well. So I predicted Manchester City in my predictions video for round 3 to beat Arsenal 2-1. So I got the victory correct, but I didn't get the scoreline correct because it ended 5-0. So I get 1 point to that. I get 1 point to that. I guess it's something, isn't it? But yeah. I guess the only annoying thing though is that I did actually think maybe City could give Arsenal an absolute hammering given their start of the season, and I had that in mind. But I went with Arsenal to get a goal at least, but they haven't. It ended up being a hammering indeed. So yeah, not good for the Gunners. Rooted to the bottom of the league after 3 games. And now we move on to St James's Park, where Newcastle played Southampton. And this I had down as 4-3 to Newcastle. I had this down as the closest and most intense game of the weekend. But, well, there's certainly a lot more intense games coming into this weekend. I reacted to one of them, as we all know. Oh, no. Anyway, Newcastle against Southampton at St James's Park. Well, wait for this advert to finish a second. Hold on. Just to clarify, this is a little bit different because I was meant to watch Match of the Day and Match of the Day 2 for these videos. I have watched them already, obviously. I didn't have time though. With obviously my computer playing up to react to them on live, and also obviously I felt very affected, of course, by the passing of my friend Antony. And on Saturday, which was the expiry date of the Match of the Day program. Even though obviously I've watched it already, just in case because I love it anyway. But yeah. It expired at the end of last Saturday, and with my computer having all sorts of problems, I knew I needed some sort of backup. So yeah, I was intending to do this video on Saturday, or earlier on in the week, but I've been very busy, and I had I had Mac problems. So yeah. Anyway, on to Newcastle versus Southampton here at St James's Park. A 96th minute Ward-Prowse penalty denies a Toons victory. Let's have a look. So here we are in the northeast of England. Oh, Armstrong, and already got into Gineppo here. Third chance already, 3 times, and still couldn't score there. But Southampton have another look anyway, and there's frustrations on the pitch there. But no, hang on. Let me pause it there. So the Southampton players were complaining that it should have been a corner. If I have a look. So the referee was going to give it a goal kick to Newcastle. That was clearly a corner to Southampton. So referee got it spot on to change it then in the end. No wonder the Southampton players were complaining. But here's Newcastle on the other hand, who take a corner, but a tremendous save by Alex McCarthy there to deny Alan Saint-Maximin, Newcastle's, in my opinion, Newcastle's most dangerous player. He's fantastic, a fantastic player. Here's Richie. Here's Saint-Maximin. Richie. Almiron. Into Murphy. And it's gone in. It's Callum Wilson. It's clinical Callum Wilson who has given the Geordies a lead here at St James's Park in front of a huge, huge atmosphere. Here's Salisu for Southampton. Redmond. He crosses it and it goes in. It goes in from El Yanusi, and Southampton have equalised. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Southampton's away kit this season. I don't like the yellow and blue that goes with them, but Newcastle did actually have that then. They did save it, but they dropped it, and Southampton equalised, took advantage of their misfortunes. Here's Joe Linton now for Newcastle. Cleared off the line from McCarthy, but Saint-Maximin puts in the rebound. And that celebration sums it up. They're at stoppage time, and Newcastle have made it 2-1, and they look to have won this match. But Southampton are going to try and find an answer here. Here's Redmond into Adam Armstrong, who gets brought down. Newcastle clear it away. Ralph Hasenhüttl is frustrated as Freddie Woodman, the Newcastle keeper, gets Callum Wilson up as Adam Armstrong is taken down by Callum Wilson. Sorry, not Callum Wilson, Jamal Lascelles. It's a number 6, of course, not a number 9. But no, Lascelles didn't win the ball there at all. Yeah, that's a penalty. But let me go back to that. Let me just look at what the referee does at VAR here for Newcastle Southampton. Okay. That is completely understandable. What Paul Tierney just did then was that he actually, unlike the Liverpool-Chelsea game, where Anthony Taylor just looked at a still of Reece James and then just gave the penalty and a red card, not even looking and bothering to look at the full clip, Paul Tierney actually has a look at the clip here. And that's what you need to do when you're using VAR to judge penalty, free kick, goal decisions, etc., offside decisions, etc. And he did this correctly, but yeah, that is a penalty. That is a penalty to me. Newcastle fans will be easily frustrated with that. Here's James Ward-Prowse. And he does it. It's a draw right at the end of the game. Very intense 2-2 draw there. And Southampton get a point right at the end. That is absolutely mad. And the Newcastle fans will be absolutely frustrated with that. That's bonkers, you know. That's brilliant from Southampton. I'll tell you what. Newcastle have looked really good so far this season. They actually haven't looked that bad at all. And to be honest, they're very unfortunate to not win this game. But Southampton have had a pretty decent start to the season, not going to lie, considering where everyone thought they were going to be for most of this season. But they really gave Newcastle a game. They gave Man United a hard time in round 2, and that was a disappointing performance from United. And they took the lead as well against Everton, only for Everton to come back and win 3-1. But no, Southampton have not had a bad start to the season at all. I know they haven't won a game yet, but they look promising. They look certainly a lot more promising than Arsenal, that's for sure. After the performance I saw from Arsenal, well, the performances for Arsenal so far this season, absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. Brentford were the better team against them. Chelsea were the better team against them. And Man City were by far the better team against them. But anyway, yeah, Newcastle will come out of that match feeling very disappointed and very annoyed. But to me, Southampton deserved that draw because I thought they played equally well as well. And yeah, 2-2 ended up being the results. I had this down as a 4-3 win for Newcastle. And you know what's so agonisingly close and annoying about this? It was 2-1 to Newcastle. It looked to be 2-1 to Newcastle. So I could have got another point here right at the end. I could have had another point. Wrong. Southampton equalised right even longer at stoppage time, but right before the final whistle. And I am denied a point, at least. So yeah, I had Newcastle to win 4-3, and it ended 2-2 at the end. So I got the scoreline and prediction completely wrong. So no points there for me. Moving on to Brighton versus Everton at the Amex Stadium in the south coast in the southeast of England. Brighton against Everton at the Amex. Let's have a look at this. McAllister's dispossessed already. And here's Damari Gray. Now Andros Townsend. It's a save, a clean sheet from Robert Sanchez, the Brighton goalkeeper. Brilliant reaction from Robert Sanchez. But Everton still have the ball. Alan. Damari Gray. He started brightfully this season so far, Damari Gray. And he takes it on and he puts it in. And it's 1-0 to the Evertonians. Damari Gray gives Everton the lead, and he has looked so impressive so far this season. And it's brilliant from the man who Everton have signed for Bayer Leverkusen. But Brighton have a free kick here now with Pascal Gross. But it goes straight to Pickford. Pushed away brilliantly by Jordan Pickford. And that could have easily been 1-1 straight away. Alan. Seamus Coleman, he's brought down. And it's a penalty. A penalty to Everton. Such a clumsy challenge from Joel Veltman. He doesn't know what he's doing. To be honest, that is a penalty as well. No shoulder barge there. No connection with the ball. Well, it was just a clear brought down, really. Yeah, so I agree. That was definitely a penalty. So, yeah. Oh, what the hell's going on here? So, Richarlison wanted to take the penalty, even though Calvert-Lewin is the penalty taker. God, these football players always think about themselves sometimes, don't they? It's just disgraceful. He's a freaking muppet, Richarlison is, on that occasion. I really like the guy. I highly rate the player. But if you're not the penalty taker, you're not the penalty taker. It's as simple as that. If Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been assigned by Rafa Benitez as the penalty taker, then Calvert-Lewin is the penalty taker. If you want to be the penalty taker, you've got to work harder at training. It's as simple as that. I know that from my brother's stories when he's training at Wolves. It's as simple as that. It's up to the manager on who takes the penalty. If you want to take the penalty, you've got to want it at training. Unbelievable, that is. Football is a team game, not an individual game. And he's fuming, and he's arguing with his teammates, Seamus, Coleman, and Alan. Oh, he's completely lost his head. I don't know what Richarlison is honestly smoking during that incident, but I just goes how much individuality there is now in football these days. Not just in the Premier League, but just everywhere across the world. It's unbelievable. Calvert-Lewin is taking it anyway, and that's the correct decision. But I guess Richarlison will be a bit more frustrated if Calvert-Lewin does miss the penalty here against Robert Sanchez. But this is Calvert-Lewin's 150th Premier League appearance. What can he do from the penalty spot? Scored, clinical as you like. Richarlison has got nothing to be fuming about. And yeah, it's 2-0 to Everton. Three out of three to start the season for Calvert-Lewin. But actually, before this, before I play on, I would actually like to say, when I was watching this match on Match of the Day, Brighton-Everton, when Calvert-Lewin scored that penalty, Richarlison, did he celebrate? No. No. Of course he didn't celebrate. Selfish. So yeah, just it's mad in the back, isn't it? I'd celebrate either way. My team have just scored. There's just too much individuality in footballs these days. It's ridiculous. That's what it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. If your team have just scored and you're playing with them, you get a lot of games in. You're a brilliant player for the club, like what Richarlison is for Everton, just as like with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You should bloody be celebrating with your teammates. It's as simple as that. What are you, 5? That's more like my mental age, that is. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. These people sometimes, when they just, I'm not going to bother to celebrate just because I didn't take the penalty. I'm going to cry now. Get a grip, Richarlison. I like you. You're a brilliant player. You're brilliant at what you do. You're one of the best players in Brazil at the moment. But come on, man. Celebrate with your teammate, man. Anyway, let's play on, shall we? Here's Trossard for Brighton. He has a go, but Pickford denies him. Brighton have tested Jordan Pickford here. But, however, it doesn't look good for Brighton because that was the first time in the match where they actually fully tested Jordan Pickford. So, yeah, I guess that goes to show who's been the better team this game, in this case, Everton, and who's been the more clinical team this game, in this case, Everton. Lovely ball there by Demarai Gray. Here's Doucouré, and Robert Sanchez denies him to make it free. And Robert Sanchez denies Demarai Gray there. And I can't believe he's looking for a penalty because that's no way a penalty. That was a fantastic save. He won the ball. And yes, he brought Demarai Gray down. He got the ball, though, and saved it. No way a penalty. I would, yeah, well, it's just not a penalty, is it? And I don't know why Demarai Gray was looking for it. Brilliant goalkeeping to keep Brighton in the game there. But that's the end of the highlights. It's not enough. It ended 2-0 to the Toffees. So, 2-0 to Everton. 2 wins out of 3 for the blue half of Merseyside. It could have been 3 wins out of 3, to be honest, because they nearly beat Leeds last time out at Ellen Road, but that ended 2-2 between Leeds and Everton. Everton are on 7 points, the same as Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, and West Ham. So not a bad start for Everton at all. But yeah, it's a pretty bright start for the Toffees, to be honest. As for Brighton, they have had 2 wins, and that's their first defeat of the season there against Everton. But it's not a bad start for Brighton at all. They are 8th in the league, behind Manchester City, but just ahead of Leicester. But not a bad start for the season for Brighton at all. And I think Graham Potter's such an underrated manager, to be honest. So, yeah, very decent from Brighton. Maybe not the match, so Everton were by far the better team, but they'll bounce back. Who have Brighton got next? Oh, they're away to Brentford on Saturday. That's not going to be easy. Both teams will be gunning for victory there. They both started brightly as well. Everton have Burnley on Monday night, and well, I'm probably going to say Everton to win that, but we'll get on to the predictions in a minute. But yeah, that ended 2-0 to Everton. Very good performance from Everton. A bit of a disappointed below par performance from Brighton, but it wasn't shocking like Arsenal, as we all know. They actually did give Everton a go, but it wasn't enough, and the Toffees were the better team. So yeah, 2-0 to Everton. Let's move on to a London derby at the London Stadium, the Olympic Stadium in Stratford in East London. And it's West Ham against Crystal Palace. And before I watch these highlights, I just want to say there were 2 men, one from West Ham, one from Crystal Palace, that were both absolutely extraordinary during this match. Look out for Mikel Antonio of West Ham, who, of course, put in that terrific performance against Leicester last time out when West Ham won 4-1 against the Foxes. And look out for Crystal Palace's Conor Gallagher, who they've signed on loan from Chelsea. Let's have a look at this one then. So foul. Crosses it into Antonio, but what a block. Bloody hell. Vicent Guaita did come out, but that was a tremendous block from one of the defenders from Crystal Palace then. I'm trying to work out who that is again. That is an amazing block to give away. Well, not to give away, to not let West Ham make it 1-0 there. That was amazing. I want to look at that again. I don't know, but it was a fantastic clearance either way. Amazing. That could have so easily been 1-0 to West Ham, and Vicent Guaita couldn't get to that at all. Brilliant defending from Palace then. Oh, it was Joe Ward, the right back. Well done to him. Very good. Look at that. That is absolutely amazing of a block. That could have so easily been 1-0 West Ham. Look, that's going in. You know that's going in. And that block, that's incredible defending. That is incredible defending. When Guaita's not there, Joel Ward is. Just like with Liverpool-Chelsea, when Edouard Mendy wasn't there, but Reece James was. But yeah, we know how that happened. But anyway. But let's go back to Palace and West Ham. That was a fantastic block there by Joel Ward to clear that off the line. That's amazing defending. Souček to Sofal, the 2 Czechs. Benrahma, Antonio taking on Crystal Palace, but he's got support. He fires it to Fornals. He passes it to Fornals. Guaita had no chance to get rid of that then, nor with the defenders. And that clever display from Mikel Antonio and Pablo Fornals, the number 8 midfielder, Spanish midfielder, gives the East Londoners the lead. And West Ham look to continue their fantastic start to the season and their fantastic football so far this season. Fornals finds the net. And that's just brilliant football. 1-0 to the Hammers. MacArthur. Better from Palace. I know I say this is better from Palace, obviously, with their defending being brilliant, but obviously West Ham have had the ball possession so far and the more shots. Anyway. Here's Gallagher. And he corners it and puts it in. Crosses it and puts it in. Goes to celebrate with Christian Benteke, Crystal Palace's up front striker. And Crystal Palace have equalised. The man who's on loan from Chelsea, who was at West Brom last season, who were, of course, relegated, have given Crystal Palace an equaliser. It's 1-1 here at the London Stadium. Brilliant. Brilliant from Gallagher. Here's Cresswell now for West Ham. Ball towards Antonio, and he fires it in. That is just so clinical. The man who has been, for me, probably player of the month so far, has just made it 2-1 to West Ham. You've seen how incredible he's been so far this season, Mikel Antonio. Nobody can stop Mikel Antonio from scoring so far this season. No save there from Guaita. The roar is back from the Hammers. 2-1 to West Ham. Zaha. MacArthur. Here's Gallagher again. Can Gallagher make it 2? He can! Gallagher's done it again. And it's 2-2. Palace really giving West Ham a run for their money this game. Nothing West Ham could do. Palace can make it 3 here. Gallagher's got a free kick. But it goes over. What a chance to win it at the end for Crystal Palace. But free header. I tell you what, Palace looks very strong in that game, even though so did West Ham. But no, I thought 2-2 was the fair result. So yeah, 2-2 at the London Stadium. West Ham looked brilliant. Crystal Palace looked brilliant. But to be honest, 2 men stole that show: Mikel Antonio and Conor Gallagher. Both fantastic during that game. Before I move on to the scoreline, I just wanted to say, go back to Brighton Everton. I did have Brighton to win 2-1 to continue their bright start to the season. But it ended 2-0 to Everton. So I got that fixture wrong. I got this fixture wrong as well, because after Crystal Palace couldn't beat Brentford last time in that 0-0 draw, and seeing West Ham's magnificent display against Leicester, I thought West Ham were going to have another comfortable home win here. And I had West Ham to beat Crystal Palace 3-0. But I'll tell you what, Palace gave West Ham a complete run for their money. A complete run for their money, that game. And Palace deserved the point, in my opinion. So, yeah, it ended 2-2 at the London Stadium. And annoyingly, I've still only got 1 point so far. And that was from the Man City-Arsenal game. Right. Norwich versus Leicester. I'll tell you what, though. That's a really tough start for That's a really tough start for Norwich, though, isn't it? Having Liverpool, Manchester City, and Leicester as your first 3 games of the season. That's mental, chicken oriental. Right, Norwich Leicester at Carrow Road in East Anglia in Norfolk. Ricardo Pereira taking on Gibson. Crosses it to Jamie Vardy, who delivers yet again. Leicester in front. 7.5 minutes played. No chance for Tim Krul. The same conurbation. The same connection that got Leicester's goal against Wolves in the first game of the season that Vardy scored. The duo have done it again. Ricardo Pereira sets up Jamie Vardy, and it's 1-0 to the Foxes on their away days. Here's Vardy again, but this time he is denied by Krul. Yeah, I was going to say. At the minute, I thought the pundit, the co-commentator was calling for Leicester to have a penalty then, but that was no way a penalty. That was no way a penalty for Leicester. Vardy, it probably would have been if Krul did bring Vardy down, but he didn't. Vardy was completely fine. That's no way a penalty. Krul saved it. Yeah, he did not bring him down at all. That's no way a penalty. I don't know why that's even in the talk. I don't even think it would even be a penalty if Vardy gone down completely. If it was completely hurt, I'd understand, but no, not a penalty at all. Soyuncu challenges Lise Malou. Norwich call for a penalty there this time out. I don't know if that is a penalty or not, though. To be honest, I don't think there's enough. There isn't enough contact, in my opinion. I mean, yes, Kaglar Soyuncu did not get the ball at all, but it doesn't mean every foul you do is a penalty, and that's where VAR ruins the game, because you need to let the game flow. If it was brutal, obviously a penalty, but just shows how soft the game is these days. In fact, I don't know, actually. Yeah, it is a penalty, isn't it? I mean, no, he didn't get the ball at all, but Soyuncu, but I would like to see this again. Yeah, to be honest, I'd give that a penalty anyway. And look at Lise Mello. Yes, he's complaining, but he's not looking for it, and he's not diving around, lying around on the floor like a pillock, is he? So yeah, that is a penalty. That would have to be a penalty for me. That's a penalty to Norwich, yeah. I wouldn't say that's reckless though. That looks far from reckless, but you're right. I mean, Soyuncu didn't get the ball at all, so yeah, that is a penalty. But it does. How can the co-commentator say that was reckless? That was not a reckless challenge. That was not a leg-breaking challenge. Anyway, let's move on. Anyway, Pookie's going to take the penalty. And he sends Kasper Schmeichel the wrong way, and it is 1-1 here at Carrow Road. Bottom right penalty for Teemu Pukki. And the Finland international makes it 1-1. Corner to Leicester. Side netting there by James Maddison. Could have made it 2-1. Inacho. Maddison goes down, but referee says play on. Referee says play on. That's nothing. How can Maddison roll around like that? I mean, seriously. I mean, look at that. Here, 2 minutes 09 into the highlights here of Norwich Leicester. That's nothing. That's no way a penalty. I'm glad the referee played on there. Michael Brighton, bottom left, 2-1 to Leicester. Brilliantly finished. A nice celebration. Kind of deflected off the Norwich defence there, but yeah, no, it was a deflection. It was actually a deflection. A slight deflection off the Norwich player there, but it's definitely a Michael Brighton goal. But it's great shot, definitely. 2-1 Leicester. And Norwich equalise. Oh, wait, hang on. This was the one that got ruled out by VAR for offside, isn't it? Let's have a look at this. That's a shame, because otherwise Norwich would have got a point today. But today, I mean, during that match. But rules are the rules, I guess. Even though there are, of course, some rules in VAR, I still strongly recommend they should change because, yeah, anyway. That was a great corner, though. Oh, no, that's gutting for Norwich. That is gutting for the Norwich fans. But to be honest, Todd Cantwell completely lets them down there. He is miles offside. No, okay, not miles offside, but Todd Cantwell is offside. He's only got Kasper Schmeichel in front of him. No, that's the correct decision. As much as I hate VAR, this is the correct decision. This is definitely offside. He is beyond Castagna. To be honest, though, I didn't hardly hear any boos then. And to be honest, I commend the Norwich fans for that because in that game, because I think they might have known that it was offside. I mean, it's not their fault Campbell let them down there. Otherwise, it would have been 2-2 and they would have got points. But no, that was offside and Leicester win 2-1. But I did think that was easily Norwich's best performance of the season so far. And who have they got next? Oh, yeah, Arsenal. Could you imagine if Norwich beat Arsenal? That would rub salt in the wounds for Gunners fans. Anyway. That ended 2-1 to Leicester. I had this down as 3-1 to Leicester. Oh, no. I was so close, but in a way, I'm fortunate that Norwich's goal there got disallowed because otherwise I would have had no point there. So, yeah, I get a point for that. I had Leicester to win, but it was not 3-1. It was 2-1. So, yeah, I get... that's only my second point of the weekend. Oh, my God. Because I got Newcastle-Southampton wrong. I got Brighton-Everton wrong. I got West Ham-Crystal Palace wrong. And I got Man City-Arsenal right. So, yeah, I only on 2 points for this round so far. And already 5 games into the weekend. Shocking. Oh, no. But, yeah. That was a decent performance, I thought, from Norwich, but Leicester were just the more clinical side. Let's move on to Aston Villa versus Brentford at Villa Park. And Ollie Watkins returns against his former club. Here's Sergi Canos. Ivan Toney! He's crossed it to Ivan Toney. And the Championship's leading goal scorer last season has given Brentford the lead. And Ivan Toney gets his first Premier League goal. The man who Brentford brought in to replace Ollie Watkins, they signed from Peterborough United, has given the Bees the lead. Once again, Thomas Frank's impressive start with Brentford in the Premier League continues. And it's 1-0 to Brentford. What a pass there by Canos. Into Matthias Jensen. And then literally finished then by Ivan Toney. And the man who I thought was the Premier League's best keeper last season, Emiliano Martinez, could not get to the ball one bit. No chance for the Argentine international. Now Danny Ings with the ball. El Ghazi back to Ings. Buendia. And he goes for it, and boy, he goes for it. It's 1-1 here at Villa Park. Emi Buendia announces himself at Villa Park, and it's 1-1 between Aston Villa and Brentford. As soon as Brentford score, Villa responds straight away. Buendia picks his spot, and it goes in. And he has got his he's got his mark off now at Aston Villa. Kicked off his career at Aston Villa. I wonder how well Buendia can do now for the rest of the season. It's his first goal for the club. That was absolutely brilliant by Emi Buendia. Here's Cash for Villa. Villa look to make it 2-1 then. Looked to be 2-1 there, but a brilliant save by David Raya. Here's Buendia, blocked off by Brentford. Brentford still in the game. Here's Ivan Toney, but loses it, but he wins it back. Rico Henry looks to make it 2-1, but misses the bottom right corner, and that could have so easily been all 3 points there for the Bees. Toney. Gone straight to Emi Martinez. But Emi Martinez has a howler there. But Brentford are offside anyway. Oh, you can't do that anyway. The Brentford player literally just kicked it off Emiliano Martinez's clutches of his goalkeeping hands. So, yeah, no wonder that goal was ruled out. That's quite funny, though, but you can't do that. Good old Janelta. Can't believe he just did that. Referee ducks. El Ghazi has a crack, but it's gone wide. Toney and Pinnock were both there. That could have been Another. That could have been another goal to Brentford then, but they're both there, Pinnock and Antony. But it goes straight to Martinez's clutches. El Ghazi gets it past Sergi Canos and fires it to Ollie Watkins, but it goes straight to David Raya. The former Brentford man, could have made it 2-1 to Aston Villa. Such a difficult header for him to get in, though. But that was a great cross there by El Ghazi. But it's not to be for Villa. And it's a frustrating 1-1 draw for the Villains. A brilliant point for Brentford once again. And going into August already, Brentford haven't lost a game yet. So, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, in that match, I thought that was a fairly even Stevens match. Villa had their chances, Brentford had their chances. So, yeah, I thought the 1-1 draw was the fair result, to be honest. Great result for Brentford, though, to get a point at Villa Park. Because you never know. They might beat Villa at their ground. So, I had this down, though, to be Brentford's first defeat of the season. I had this down to be 2-0 to Aston Villa. But it ended 1-1. So, I get no points for this at all. So, I stay on 2 points for this week. Oh, dear. Speaking of oh, dear, guess what match we're on next? Oh, no. I might cry. No, I won't. I'll try and keep it in. It's Liverpool-Chelsea at Anfield. Now, obviously, as you guys all know, I have done a live stream of me watching this game with my brother, Joe. So I have obviously seen this match already. There's 2 matches I watched live on Sky Sports this weekend, gone for week 3. And that was Liverpool-Chelsea, which I'm about to have a relook now, and Wolves-Manchester United, which will be at the end of this video. So, yeah, here we go. 15-second advert. Liverpool-Chelsea here at Anfield. Okay, well, I've already seen this match, so I'm just going to point out what I think. So here we go. Corner for Chelsea. Oh, this was Havertz's first goal, wasn't it? This was the opener for Chelsea. That's some corner from Reece James. But look at that header from Kai Havertz. He's not even in the goalkeeper's main. First of all, Kai Havertz is not in Alisson's main box of the full-on box itself. Second of all, he looks at the complete wrong way to header it in, and then looks back and sees it's gone in, where Alisson has no chance of getting it in. He looks the other way. He looks the other way to header that, and it goes in. That is skill. A fantastic header. And no wonder I was celebrating full of joy when Chelsea took the lead there. Robertson couldn't even full-on mark Kai Havertz there. So, yeah, a brilliant header. Deserved lead for Chelsea, even though Liverpool haven't been that bad at all. And yeah, well, that was a deserved header, I thought, from Kai Havertz. Absolutely fantastic. Looking the complete wrong way, only to get it in the bottom right corner. That is just a sublime header, that is. That's incredible, man. Come on. Just look at that. I'll tell you what, though. As for Lequeta, nearly got to the end of that, and that would have annoyed me if he tapped that in, because that would have been ruled out for offside, and deservedly so. What a header. 1-0 to Chelsea. Loops it over Alisson. Sensational, that header was. Kante, Jorginho, Lukaku. Here's Mason Mount, who puts it wide. Right across the face of Alisson, though. But he puts it right, trying to put it in bottom right. Hang on. I don't think that would have got in anyway, because if you have a look at that again, I think that deflected off Robertson anyway. So, in all honesty, Andy Robertson did brilliantly to defend that and deflect it. Corner to Liverpool. Matip tries to keep it in. Alonso tries to head it out. Matip hits the bar. Mendy doesn't get to it. And this is where the handball incident comes in. So, I mean, Liverpool fans across social media said this was a penalty. I see why they say it's a penalty, because it did touch Reece James's hand. But if you look closer, it hit Reece James's knee and pelvis first before it hit his hand. And in all honesty, this is where I think the game needs to change. There's a rule saying that it's a penalty because Reece James has obstructed and stopped Liverpool from a clear goal-scoring opportunity and a clear goal. I think that's a ridiculous rule if you think about it. And I'd honestly say the same if this was a penalty to Chelsea instead. I'd honestly say the same. Can I say the same? Can I tell you why? Because if you stop the ball going in defensively, then you've cleared it. That's brilliant defending. I thought that was brilliant defending from Reece James when our own goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy, couldn't even get to the ball. And that is what you need in a defender. I mean, like, I thought we defended that bit really well, but you could tell. I know you're thinking, Jack, you're biased. You're a Chelsea fan. No wonder you're saying it's not a penalty. I don't think it's a penalty because it hit his knee first. It did. It hit his knee first to get rid of it. And it was, and then it deflected onto his hand. That's why I didn't think it was a penalty. If it hit Reece James's hand first and it was blatant, it would have 100% been a penalty. But knowing the nature of this game at the moment and knowing the rules these days, I remember when I was watching this on the watch along, I knew this was going to be a penalty anyway. And because it's Salah who takes the penalties for Liverpool, you know he's going to score. So yeah, I knew this was going to be a penalty, even though I was annoyed. But it is what it is. But no, if this was Van Dijk or Trent or Robertson, for example, doing the exact same things what Reece James did there, and Chelsea got a penalty, even though I'd obviously be delighted with the penalty because that would give Chelsea a goal-scoring opportunity, it wouldn't have been a penalty in my opinion. I would have been on the watch along, be like, yes, get in, but to be honest, we don't deserve that. It's 1-1, but we don't deserve that. That's what I would have been like if Chelsea was given a penalty there in a nature like that, because that for me wasn't a penalty. So yeah. Anyway, let's put the penalty bickering aside. Actually, no, I don't know why I'm saying that because they're showing the replay now. Blithering idiot I am. So yeah, let's have a look at the replay. Mane tries to put it in. See, look at the nature. It does hit Reece James's knee first and deflects onto his hand. You could also tell it was going to be a penalty because Because the Liverpool fans, it's the Liverpool fans. Not because they're one of the most influential group of fans. Well, when I say this, Anfield's one of the most influential stadiums across the entire planet for atmosphere and for roaring their team on. Honestly, the atmosphere at Liverpool is honestly incredible. It's like a religion to those supporters. And I really wish our atmosphere was on par, but it really isn't. Honestly, Liverpool's atmosphere of fans is like passion for the game at the ground is so much more passionate than Chelsea's fans at Stamford Bridge. It's shocking and it makes me really annoyed. But anyway, yeah, it hit Reece James's knee before it hit his hands, and it was a deflection. But you could tell if this was behind closed doors, I honestly don't think this would have been given a penalty. But knowing that Antony Taylor was refereeing the game, I think he would have given a penalty anyway because it's Antony Taylor. So yeah, for me, that's not a penalty. However, I understood by the nature of why Reece James tried to clear that it was a penalty. But I didn't think it was. Because if that happened to Van Dijk or Trent or Robertson, I would have said exactly the same. If it hit their knee or pelvis or other part of the body before their hand. If it hit their hand straight away, penalty, 100%. If that hit Reece James's hand straight away, which I didn't think it did, then it would have, for me, been 100% a penalty. But this is what pees me off, though. Antony Taylor, unlike Paul Tierney in that Newcastle-Southampton game, Antony Taylor doesn't even bother to look at the full replay of the corner incident, and that really annoys me. He just looks at a still. He just looks at a still of the ball in between Reece James's chest and arm, and he's like, "Oh, I'll look at it still. Give it a penalty." You're bloody clueless, mate. How can you give a penalty for looking at a still? Did you not see what Paul Tierney did in the Newcastle-Southampton game? No, you probably didn't. Unbelievable. Like, I knew it was going to be a penalty. I knew Liverpool were going to get a penalty here. And knowing Antony Taylor, I knew he would have given Liverpool a penalty. But come on. If you're going to look at a VAR replay, look at the whole bloody replay, freaking replay, and not just a still of Reece James trying to clear it. And they're like, oh, penalty. Muppets. Absolute muppets. And then Reece James gets a red card for the most accidental. How do I explain this? Reece James gets a red card for one of the most undeliberate things I've ever seen in football, just because he tried to clear the ball. And this is where some of the rules seriously need to change. Because if that happened to Van Dijk or Trent or Robertson for Liverpool and they got a red card, I would have said that's completely undeserved and the Liverpool fans would be fuming. I'll tell you what, all these Liverpool fans, not all of them, most of them, on social media have been saying that was a clear red card. Bollocks. Honestly, bollocks. A red card for that. For that! Are you kidding me? Anyway. Honestly, it was one of the most stupidest red cards I've ever seen. Honestly, if this happened to Van Dijk or Trent or Robertson, it would have been such an undeserved red card. But I'll tell you what. I bet you some Liverpool fans will say if that was a penalty to Chelsea, in that same manner, if Van Dijk or Trent or Robertson did exactly what Reece James did, then they would have been like, no way a penalty. I know I can't really defend my club here in a way because I know some Chelsea fans would have been like for definite. In fact, most Chelsea fans would have been like for definite penalty. But this is where I think the rules really need to be changed because they're giving a penalty. They're giving a penalty for the smallest amount of contact. It's ridiculous. It just pees me off that in the last 3 seasons of the Premier League and for football in general, they have been giving penalties, offsides, free kicks, etc. for the smallest, teensiest bits of contact. The teensiest bit of contact. And the game is just not as physical as it used to be, or as flowing as it used to be. You'll see that in a minute in the next game, which was Burnley against Leeds. The most flowing game I've seen in ages, and it was fantastic. I'm sorry, I know I'm a Chelsea fan, and I usually defend my team. And yes, I can be a bit biased towards my favourite club. Of course I can. That's every football fan for you. But I try and be as fair as possible. That was, for me, not a red card. But I'm telling you, if that happened to Van Dijk, Trent or Robertson, that would also not be a red card. But now, referees and officials are now giving red cards for the teensiest things in football. And it's a joke. You compare this red card from Reece James compared to Azpilicueta's red card against Aston Villa and Christensen's red card, ironically also against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. They were both definite red cards compared to this one. This red card, I'm sorry, was an absolute joke. And that's where some referees just don't know what they're doing. Anyway, I'm going to, I hate to swear in this, but I'm going to have to shut the fuck up now. Let's put the penalty bickering aside, and especially the red card bickering aside, even though it was absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, let's put the penalty bickering aside, and let's just move on with the rest of the game. Look, it is what it is, and to be honest, if I could just put the penalty bickering aside, Chelsea got a point. We got a point at Anfield. So, in all honesty, I can't really complain that much because I can't really complain that much because Chelsea got a point at Anfield, one of the toughest grounds in English football to go to, where the crowd absolutely roar and go up their feet to try and get Liverpool to win. Of course they do. Of course they do, and deservedly so. That's backing your club for you. That's what you need to do as a fan. And it's one of the toughest grounds to go to, Anfield. So to be honest, to go down to 10 men and hang on to that 1 point is actually brilliant, because you'll see in a minute that Liverpool are the complete dominant team in this second half, even though, of course, Chelsea were down to 10 men. So to be honest, I'll take a point at Anfield because hopefully, touch wood, in the second half of the season, Chelsea can beat Liverpool and other teams such as Manchester City, Arsenal, Manchester United. I don't know why I mentioned Arsenal. Manchester City, Manchester United, Leicester, Tottenham, Wolves at Stamford Bridge, Everton, to get the points we need. So yeah, anyway, let's move on. It's Salah, of course he's going to score. Calm as you like. And Mendy kicks it away. Do you see Henderson then? What's this? Mendy tries to clear it out, but it catches Henderson. And Henderson squares up to Mendy. Oh, fight, 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 fight. Beef, beef, beef. I need to shut up. That's quite funny, to be fair. Mendy tries to... I know I was angry at this time because I thought it was such an undeserved penalty. But I look back at the fight scene now after the penalty. It's just so funny to watch. I always find watching fights in football so interesting because it's just a bunch of pansies going ahead for square to square in each other. And Henderson confronts Edouard Mendy. Lukaku barges him out the way. Go on, Rob. Go on, Cesar Azpilicueta. Barge Henderson out the way. That's what I like to see. Break the fight up. Break Henderson away from Mendy. Anyway, let's move on. Second half, and this is where Liverpool were the complete dominant team. We defended for our lives here this second half. But let's have a look. It's Henderson now. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Harvey Elliott, Salah, And Jota puts it over. Could have easily been 2-1. Mendy couldn't even get to that either. Mane takes on Christensen. Jorginho gives it away. Fabinho has a go, and it's brilliantly saved by Edouard Mendy. Rudiger congratulates him. Is Salah. Trent. Robertson has a go. Pushed away by Mendy as Lukaku tries to clear it, but the defence in that second half was what won Chelsea the points. Defensively, we were fantastic that second half, even though Liverpool were the better team that second half. But like I said, to get a point at Anfield is actually not bad at all. And that will boost Chelsea's confidence in to the rest of the season. And to be honest, what was even better was that at full time, the Chelsea players and Thomas Tuchel were the much happier side, much happier than Liverpool players and Jurgen Klopp. And nearly the whole of Anfield booed after the match. Good. Anyway, to be honest, though, I thought the 1-1 draw was a deserved draw anyway. And even though obviously I wanted Chelsea to win, and frustratingly we didn't, 1-1 is not that bad considering what happened with Reece James. So yeah. And what's even better is that I did actually get this fixture spot on because I actually had it down as a 1-1 draw. I had Chelsea to get a point at least, considering the way we've been playing so far this season. Outclassed Arsenal and obviously outclassed Crystal Palace in the first game of the season. And that is 3 points for me, so I move on to 5. So yeah, thank you for hearing my rant, and I think that's the end of the video. No, I'm joking. That's not the end of the video. Psych! 3 games to go. That is the end of Saturday, though, on the other hand. So yeah, 1-1 draw at Anfield. Let's move on to a game that I thought was brilliant to watch, and that was Burnley against Leeds at Turf Moor. But yeah, I got that result at Anfield spot on. I had it down as a 1-1 draw. But yeah, onwards and upwards. Chelsea got a tough match against Aston Villa this weekend coming at Stamford Bridge. That's not going to be easy at all. Liverpool have got Leeds next at Ellen Road. Also not going to be easy. Anyway, let's move on. Burnley against Leeds at Turf Moor. Ashley Barnes. Chris Wood. Ashley Barnes. Goodmanson has a go, but it's wide. Meslier doesn't need to deal with that one. Jack Harrison. Crosses it to Rodrigo, but here's Bamford. Rodrigo. Now Rafinha! And it's wide, just. I'll tell you what, I love Leeds' away kit there, the blue. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Leeds give it away. Ashley Barnes has a go. But it's saved by Meslier. Tarkowski was close, but it went onto the post. In fact, Bamford nearly scored an own goal then. So that could have easily been 1-0 to Burnley. Bamford was trying to defend it to win a corner for Burnley. But it was nearly 1-0 to Burnley. But Tarkowski nearly makes it 1-0 to Burnley. But he hits the bar. Here's Brownhill, who misses it completely. Goes on to Calvin Phillips. And it's in! Meslier! Howler from Ilan Meslier. Chris Wood gives Burnley the lead. Sorry, it was Matthew Lowton, not Chris Wood. My apologies. Matthew Lowton puts it in with that shot. But Meslier, man, what are you doing? Howler from the Leeds goalkeeper, the France youngster. But Leeds look to get an equaliser. Here's Rafinha. Shackleton deflected on from Bamford. And Leeds do equalise. Burnley's victory completely snatched away by former player Patrick Bamford. It ends 1-1 at Turf Moor. And, okay, so unlike the Anfield game, well, parts of the Anfield game. Anyway, what I loved about this Turf Moor game between Burnley and Leeds was that it was complete end-to-end, 1-1. There are a lot of challenges, and most of them were, I'm going to be honest, fouls. But what was so good about the game, though, was that the referee just let it flow the whole time. Not saying that I would do that, because obviously I would have given fouls for different decisions and stuff, but the fouls didn't even look that reckless, to be honest, when I watched this match on Match of the Day. And I just commend the referee for playing on, to be honest, because it just lets the game flow, and that's what we want in football. It's just pees all football fans off. For every tackle made, we got to stop it to check it, and then we'll just give the other team a free kick. Stop and go, stop and go. That's not how it should work. Yes, there were fouls in that game where I would have given free kicks, but if they're not brutal enough and not really bad, then I don't see why not to play on, personally. It just lets the game flow more. And it also annoys me. Let's say, for example, Calvin Phillips brings down Matthew Lowton in a one-on-one challenge. Calvin Phillips doesn't win the ball, but there was nothing wrong with Matthew Lowton. Yes, Calvin Phillips didn't get the ball, but Matthew Lowton is completely looking for it, but he's actually not hurt at all. That's where I'd let it play on. If Matthew Lowton was completely hurt, or the challenge from Calvin Phillips was more than brutal or completely brutal and really bad and a very dangerous challenge, then I'd obviously given a free kick. But yeah, that's just me. I'm never going to be a football referee, that's for sure. So yeah. It was 1-1 at Turf Moor. I had this down as 2-1 to Leeds. So I get no points there either. So let's move on to Tottenham Watford at White Hart Lane, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 2 games to go. Tottenham Watford in North London. The key factor about this match was that Tottenham just sold Moussa Sissoko to Watford. So Sissoko was already playing against his former club. Anyway, let's play on. What a block from Eric Dyer to deny Watford a goal. Set up by former player Sissoko. Son's corner. Bachmann gets rid of it as Tottenham try to make it 1-0. Son takes a free kick. Son's free kick. What a free kick. The man who, as usual for Tottenham, as usual ever since his Premier League debut in 2015, has already been on fire this season. What a player for Tottenham he really has been, Heung-min Son, and he's already given Spurs the lead, 1-0. No chance for Bachmann. Tottenham strike first. Watford lose it, and here's Song again. He's got Kane on the right. Dele Alli puts it left, puts it wide. Wrong side of the post. I'll tell you what, before I continue, seeing Harry Kane there, I'll tell you what, Tottenham have done absolutely superb to keep hold of him and not let Manchester City get his clutches. I knew Kane would stay at Tottenham. I could tell how loyal he was. I can't see him at another Premier League club. If I see him somewhere else, I'd see him anywhere else in Europe, to be honest. But I know how much Harry Kane loves Tottenham to bits. Sorry. So, yeah. Brilliant for the Tottenham fans that Kane's staying with the club. They've done so well to keep hold of him. Free kick for Tottenham again. Højbjerg takes it, but it's another clean sheet. It's another clean sheet from Bachmann. Tottenham trying to get over the line. Lucas Moura. Harry Kane could have made it too. Short corner for Tottenham. Kane nearly scores again, but misses. And that sums it all up. Tottenham trying to get more than one goal that game, but deserved win for Tottenham, and Son's free kick maintains Spurs' perfect start. And what's even better for Tottenham fans is seeing Arsenal, bottom of the league, in 20th. Tottenham, the only team so far to make it 3 wins out of 3. And the club, the Lily Whites, are top of the league. 3 wins out of 3, and Tottenham are top of the league. I had this down as 4-0 to Tottenham. I thought Tottenham would absolutely hammer Watford. But Watford, I'll tell you what, gave them a hard run. A run for their money. But Tottenham just held on to that 1-0 lead, even though Tottenham kept scoring. But Watford kept defending brilliantly after that goal was scored. But it's not enough. Not enough. And it ends 1-0 to Tottenham. So I get 1 point there. Which brings me on to 6 for round 3. And that leaves me with Wolves versus Manchester United at Molineux. This was the other game that I watched live. And I thought United were absolutely terrible. But their chances could increase now, given that they have obviously signed Cristiano Ronaldo from Juventus. And CR7 has returned to the Premier League. And he should surely be starting in Manchester United's next game, which is against Newcastle at home. But no, United I thought were terrible against Wolves. Wolves should have won this match. United got a very lucky 1-0 win, as Mason Greenwood once again was clinical. But obviously the big story foreshadowing that game was Cristiano Ronaldo returning to Manchester United. Wolves Man U at Molineux. Here's Traore. He was absolutely phenomenal this game. And for me, he was my man of the match. United were awful all game. The only three players that I thought had a good game for United were Greenwood, De Gea, and Wan-Bissaka. Watch this clearance now from Wan-Bissaka when Traore nearly made it 1-0 to Wolves. Full throttle from Traore. Taking on new Man United signing Raphael Varane. That's a great save from De Gea there to deny Trincao. Traore tries to have another go, but United win it and defend it well. He had a bit of a disappointing game, Jimenez. But here's Trincao taking on Fred. I thought Fred had an appalling game for United. And no wonder United fans are wanting to have a new defensive midfielder. Still Trincao misses. Still Trincao again. Again misses. And it goes straight to Pogba. And somehow Wolves don't score. Really, really poor this was from Fred. Trincao completely ran over him then. Brilliant from the new signing for Wolves. But I'll tell you what, that clearance from Wan-Bissaka was absolutely exceptional. Otherwise, Wolves would have been 100% 1-0 up. If it wasn't for Wan-Bissaka, it would have been 1-0 to Wolves straight away. Wan-Bissaka saved Manchester United in that moment. A fantastic block. Marcel. That was a sitter from Matinho. He should have put that in no problem from that cross. He only had Varane with him, but it went over. Once again, this goes to show that Wolves have not been clinical at all so far this season. They have played so well so far this season, same as Newcastle, but they haven't scored, and that's why they have lost 3 in a row. A sitter from João Matinho after that cross from Raul Jimenez. I know I said I didn't think Jimenez played that well during this game, but that was a decent cross to get into Matinho when Wolves once again should have been in the lead. Greenwood nearly made it 1-0 then. He was the only one up front that gave it a go. I thought Sancho, on the other hand, had a shocking game. And no wonder he got subbed off in the second half for Martial. Matinho's corner. How did Wolves not score then? Roman Saiss nearly made it 1-0 there again. That should have easily been a goal. But, however, I have to commend David De Gea there because his saves then were just amazing. Did brilliantly to block it and try and get rid of it. Still not gone in. That's just heavily frustrating for Wolves and their fans. David De Gea managed to keep it out twice. Pogba loses it. Oh, and that's where the challenge happens. That's where Neves goes down. And this is where Neves and Matinho got furious with the referee for not giving Wolves a free kick here because Mike Dean let it play on. And here's Varane in the meantime. Pogba definitely brought down Neves then. It's a shocking challenge. Mike Dean gave it a 50-50, but United took full advantage of this situation and made it 1-0 thanks to Mason Greenwood. Look at the Wolves fans, absolutely furious. I mean, I don't blame them because that for me was a free kick. Pogba was nowhere near. I mean, first of all, Pogba didn't get the ball on Neves. However, I know I said that before with some of the challenges between Burnley and Leeds, where I would have played on with some of the challenges, but that was more than brutal. That challenge was. That was a horror challenge Pogba made on Ruben Neves then. And no wonder the Wolves fans were fuming. No wonder Ruben Neves and João Moutinho was fuming. As Mason Greenwood celebrates, Ruben Neves and João Moutinho and Wolves are absolutely furious. And Neves won the ball clearly then. That was so clumsy from Pogba. Neves doesn't look for it either, so I would have given a free kick to Wolves then. Jamie Carragher said it was the right decision. Pogba goes past him, but I disagree. I thought that was really clumsy. Actually, I don't know, actually. Carragher might actually be right, you know. Was there contact? There was slightly then. Yeah, there was contact. Let me have another look. I'm really unsure about this challenge. See, from that angle there, where you see Pogba's face, it looks like he definitely made contact with Neves' foot then. But I do agree with Carragher. The reaction from Neves was very delayed. He just looked at Mike Dean and then went down. But he isn't squealing on the floor like a certain Alexis Sanchez or Neymar would do. But anyway. Nah, to be honest, I got that wrong. I could see why Wolves. I don't know, actually. I don't know why I could see Wolves are furious. I thought that was fine. Pogba doesn't touch him. And like Pogba said in his Match of the Day interview, if he caught him officially, it would have 100% been a red card, considering the way Pogba moved into Neves then. Yeah, I think Mike Dean was actually right to play on, to be honest. I mean, I feel for Wolves. I can understand their frustration because they were by far the better team that game and they deserved to win. But just goes how much more clinical United were then. And it was a delayed reaction as well, so I could see why Mike Dean just played on. I don't know why I thought it was a free kick. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought it was a free kick. But now looking back at that replay, to be honest, just now, I think the goal should have stood then, to be honest. So just shows how clueless I really am and bloody useless I am with some decisions in football, and that just goes to show how complicated the sport can really be with some decisions these days. But yeah, moving on. Greenwood saved Manchester United against Southampton last time out, and he's just saved them again against Wolves. Because United was so poor against Southampton as well, and he was so poor against Wolves. I don't know how they're going to do. For the rest of the season, will Ronaldo, just bringing in Ronaldo, change the impact of how the team are playing? I don't know. We'll see. It is Ronaldo at the end of the day anyway. Jose Sarr should have saved that though, but yeah, that was an undeserved win for United. So yeah, 1-0 to United. I had this down as a 0-0 draw, so I got this wrong as well. So I stay on 6 points for the weekend. So let me just double check. So Manchester City, Arsenal, I got 1 point. Newcastle, Southampton, I got no points. Brighton, Everton, I got no points. West Ham, Crystal Palace, no points. Norwich, Leicester, 1 point. Aston Villa, Brentford, no points. Liverpool, Chelsea, correct, 3 points. Burnley, Leeds, no points. Tottenham, Watford, 1 point. Wolves, Manchester United, no points. So I am on 6 points for that weekend. So overall, after having 10 from the first 2 rounds, I end August on 16 points out of a possible 90. Not very good. So yeah, that is my season summed up so far. I have got 16 points out of 90. And now I'm going to predict my predictions for round 4 of this Premier League weekend coming. I was going to do a separate video to this, but because I've got so much university stuff going on to sort out for next week, that's why I've brought these two together in this same video. So yeah, these are the fixtures for this weekend. We're going to start off with Crystal Palace against Tottenham at Selhurst Park. Now, to be honest, this might not be that easy for Tottenham, but every time Tottenham have played at Selhurst Park recently, they have been getting draws. Can I see the same here? I don't know if I can. I really don't know if I can. No, I'm going to go with a draw. Gallagher was brilliant against West Ham for Palace. I'm going to go with a draw here. If this was at Tottenham's ground, I would have gone with a home win, but I'm going with a 1-1 draw here. I'm going with a 1-1 draw between Crystal Palace and Tottenham. Watford against Wolves. That's not going to be easy. That's not going to be easy for Wolves at all. They lost to Watford last time they were at Vicarage Road as well. I'm going to go with a draw for this one. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think Watford are going to be up for it against Wolves. But wouldn't surprise me if Wolves get their first win of the season. Brentford against Brighton. I am going to go with a home win for Brentford. I'm going with 1-0. So that's that. Arsenal against Norwich. Arsenal have to win this, otherwise this is going to look embarrassing for the Gunners. I'm going with a home win at the Emirates. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Arsenal here against Norwich. Moving on to Manchester United against Newcastle. Ronaldo's back in the team. He'll 100% surely be starting against Newcastle. Cavani will be there. Sancho will be there. Varane will be there. I'm going with a home win for Man United. I'm going to go with 4-1. I think as much as I can see Newcastle trying to have a fighting spirit, I think United will be too strong for Newcastle. So I'm going with a home win for United. Southampton against West Ham. Southampton against West Ham. That's not going to be easy either. I wouldn't be surprised if Southampton get their first win of the season. I know West Ham are looking really good so far, but to be honest, I'm going to go with a home win for Southampton. I think they are going to defy the odds, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for the Saints against the Hammers. Leicester against Man City. That is such a tough game. Man City have played better than Leicester so far this season. Can I see Leicester beating Man City? They did at the Etihad last season. That was a terrific performance from the Foxes. That was. But can I see them beat City this game? They'll definitely give them a hard time. But it wouldn't surprise me if City had an away win as well. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw at the King Power. I think Leicester will hold City to a draw. Chelsea, Aston Villa. I'm going to go with a tight home win for Chelsea. I'm going to go with 2-1. I think we're going to bounce back after that draw against Liverpool Anfield. Speaking of Liverpool, they play against Leeds at Ellen Road, and I think this is going to be. I think this will be an entertaining game. I think this will be a draw as well. So this I'm going to go with 2-2. Leeds Liverpool 2-2. And Everton Burnley, I'm going to go with a home win for Everton, considering their performances so far this season. I'm going with 3-0 to Everton. I think they'll comfortably beat Burnley. So yeah, that is my predictions for round 4. Can I start September with a banger? I probably don't think so. But anyway, we'll see. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you again in the next one. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and that was my reaction to game week 3 and my predictions to game week 4 there. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio.